Hi everyone, welcome to the latest edition of the Bison video blog, Homecoming Style, as NDSU gets set for what Jeff Kolpack calls the game of the year. The Bison hosting Youngstown State. The Penguins coming back to Fargo in a scheduling quirk for the second straight year. Of course, Jeff, they're the only team that beat NDSU last year. This has all the makings of what should be a great football game on Saturday.
Great football game, but first of all, good to be home.
It is.
Here in our nice Bison Media Blog studios.
Palatial studios.
It's good the fact that Big E is taking a couple days off.
You're thrown to the side, have you?
Those victory mints were just a little over the top for my taste. A little too...
they may reappear on Saturday, though. We'll see what happens.
We got some good stuff in store
do.
for Saturday, but let's get to this stuff. Game of the year, yes. Great home schedule, by the way, for the Bison. Youngstown State, of course, on Saturday. They have South Dakota State coming here, Indiana State, SIU with Dale Lennon. So, yeah, that's four really good games that are already sold out in the Dome.
The Penguins come in. They have won all four of their games. They have an FBS win that is probably better than the Bison win. They beat Pittsburgh. The Panthers have gone on and beat Virginia Tech out of the ACC. Have a great quarterback, running back combo in Kurt Hess and Jermaine Cook. In my mind, the best in the country, and they proved it when they came here last year and beat the Bison.
This is going to be the best matchup of quarterback versus quarterback in the country, perhaps this year. I think Kurt Hess is everything that Brock Jensen is. He's reliable, he's accurate, he's steady, he's a playmaker, he's smart. I mean, all those attributes fit Brock Jensen to a T. They fit Kurt Hess too. Both are juniors. I mean, there's a reason NDSU is number 1 and Youngstown's number 3. And the biggest reason, I think, is at quarterback, because those guys are really good.
Now, you look at this matchup as well. For the Bison, they have played Youngstown 4 times since coming into the Missouri Valley. Every game decided by 8 points or less. Why in the world are these games so tight? We remember in 2010, the game-winning play for the Bison was with 20 seconds left, and then Youngstown rallied from 2 touchdowns last year to win this game.
You know, I'm thankful this game's in the afternoon, because a lot of these games are at night, and I'm changing my story as deadline is looming within a half hour, especially last year when the NDSU scored late, or 2 years ago, when NDSU scored late at Youngstown on a touchdown pass. It was a night game, Eastern time zone, which actually helped me a little bit, thankfully. And will this game go down to the wire again? Probably.
Absolutely. Now, Craig Bohl alluded to this coming off the press conference. We asked him here. Youngstown's coming off a bye, which NDSU is always used to its advantage. We have to assume Youngstown will as well. They got an emotional win over Northern Iowa, 42-35, scoring the game-winning touchdown with 50 seconds left to beat the Panthers. You have to assume the last 2 weeks they have game planned for NDSU.
I'm going to go one step farther. You can assume, certainly, of course, that they've game planned for NDSU all last week and then this week coming up. I'm going to say all summer. Because if you're going to go through the Missouri Valley and you're going to win the Valley, and you know NDSU has all those players coming back, I think if you're Eric Wolford at Youngstown State, you're going, okay, let's figure out a way to beat NDSU, much in the same way what Dale Lennon at UND did almost over a decade ago. I'm sure Roger Thomas said, you know, we need to figure out a way to stop NDSU's option. If we're going to win the North Central Conference and beat the Bison, we need to figure out a way
to stop them.
I would bet the same manner with Youngstown all summer, saying if we're going to win this league, we need to get by NDSU.
Craig Bohl alluded to that as well when I asked him, do you think this has future implications that the winner of this game is going to win the conference? And he said without equivocation, yes. He figures that this game will go a long way to determining who has the auto bid and probably the inside track to home field once we get to November.
At this stage of the season, yes, I think that's an obvious answer. But there's 4 good teams, perhaps 5. It's a 5-team race at most. Probably 4 if you're to look at the schedule with Illinois State, NDSU, Youngstown, and South Dakota State's coming back in there. Indiana State still has a chance.
And they got a big road win this past weekend against Southern Illinois. There are 11 unbeatens in the FCS. 3 of them reside in the Missouri Valley. Illinois State is the other one. As we look at how this whole shakes out down the road, Illinois State still has, and that's the last game for the Bison. That could be the game of the year. We could revisit this and retape that then. But as you look at this, why has this game become so huge? Youngstown State's pedigree in Division II, or 1AA, is what NDSU had in Division II days.
It's 2 programs that have national titles to their credit. Although most of NDSU's are in Division II, they still have that tradition on their side. Youngstown, we've been out there. And you walk through their student union and you see their stadium and their indoor football facility, the Eddie DeBartolo Lounge, which is the highest point in western or eastern Ohio. I mean, we're up there. That stadium is huge.
The Ice Castle.
It is.
It's called.
So you have 2 programs that just have that tradition and the facilities and now the coaching with, I think, the Youngstown staff is pretty good. So yeah, it's just two very similar programs.
On the Bison side, the wide receivers is something we touched on in the postgame show. They have really stepped up this year, and that was the biggest question mark I had going into the season. They had Ryan Smith, but then big-time question marks. Trevor Gebhardt has really surprised me. Zach Ross caught everything his way, and as you look at it here, with now the addition of Smith being back in the lineup, now Brock Jensen has even more weapons at his disposal.
Yeah, and as offensive coordinator, and I alluded to it in my column last week, that when you have a passing attack, you have that much more to deal with in your hands and cards to throw around. And yeah, the receivers have caught everything. Vra's hands are unbelievable.
Yep.
That guy just catches anything in his way. And I think Trevor Gebhardt is the surprise player of this.
He really has developed
offense.
over the last couple of weeks, and that one catch he had in the third quarter when Jensen was evading pressure, hit him over the middle and made that great catch.
On third and long,
yeah, it was,
too.
and it sustained a drive for the Bison and ended up getting the win. As we tape this, the new FCS coaches poll and Sports Network poll is out. The Bison remain number 1, Montana State 2, Youngstown at 3. I think the one thing I want to hit on, and something you and I talked about as well, is that Montana and Northern Iowa, we didn't expect them to be ranked. Montana is not. Northern Iowa still is at 1-4.
What are you
What's
voters
going on?
thinking? What's going on in your mind? Do you look at records? They're 1-4.
Now, I guess I'll play devil's advocate to say, well, Jeff, the Northern Iowas had the hardest schedule in the nation. Let's give them a break.
You still have to win. They have 0 Division I wins.
That is correct.
The Central State of Ohio, is that considered?
It's not.
No. Albany's not ranked. Albany's had some great games.
They've had, and they
Cal
have some quality
Poly
wins.
I mean, we could go up and down. Cal Poly, I put them at number 7 in this week's poll. What are they, 23 or 24?
Yeah, they're buried. They're
What
19
I mean,
in the
a
coaches
bunch of people
poll.
aren't even ranking them. We could,
Easy. We still got a few days left before.
good thing I really don't care about this poll.
Before game week. It should be a great matchup. The Bison and the Penguins set for a 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Wait till you see what we have planned for the pregame show on Saturday morning from the Fargodome lots. It's an early kickoff, so make sure you're up early on homecoming as the Bison will try to snap a skid. Jeff, I can't remember the last time, and this is something we'll dig up as the week goes along, that NDSU has lost 3 straight times at home to the same opponent. It's got to be either UND or South Dakota State, right?
I think it's UND. NDSU had a big streak on South Dakota State, and I should know this.
Well, we'll dig it up for you this week as we get ready
Stay tuned.
for the Bison and the Penguins as the latest edition of the Bison Video Blog.